Dr. Uh, Shekhar Mayanil for this practical session. I have put some information in the chat messages about the PDF file that he has about the dealing with Parkinson's, the yoga way. And it's really nice that that he is offering this service, and you will all enjoy it. It's going to be recorded, so in case somebody misses it, I also have in chat box some information about contacting him and also contacting Shri Yoga in case you want to attend the Shri Yoga classes. And I also want to thank two more people, Pramesh, who really originated, and he has been fighting with Parkinson's, and really has made significant. I would say he has almost conquered it all. Thank you, Pramesh, and I have the YouTube video of Shekhar and Pramesh also on the chat message. And the other person I want to thank is Maithili, who is the president of Interfaith Council of Washington area, and she's the one that she requested that we do a practical session on yoga, and so here we are, and so all the best. And just if you can do the practice with him, or if you many of things can be done in chair. So initially I was planning to do it in chair, but looks like this meeting I need to monitor it so that I can admit people. So I won't be really doing this poses with chair yoga. But if somebody wants to do it, you're welcome to do that. All right, Shekhar, all the best.
Okay, yeah. Hari Om and welcome everybody. Good morning and good afternoon or whatever, good evening, whichever the time zone is. So for the ones which can be also done on the chair, I have a chair sitting there, so I will just pull out and demonstrate it that time as to what can be done for those kind of a yogasan when you cannot bend or cannot sit cross legged the way I will be doing. Okay, so let's start this with a prayer. Actually, this prayer is for the general, the entire. I'm not a teacher, or neither you are a student. So we both are teacher and student. So that's what I will chant. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sah Viryam Karvavahe तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. This is the prayer saying that we both are students, we learn from each other. There is no teacher and there is no student. So, okay, so this is the session of Parkinson's condition. Of course, it can be used for all ages. It can be used by people who do not have Parkinson condition or who do not want to precipitate that condition. Let's say it starts off very. How do you know that some person has a Parkinson condition? It starts off with constipation. That's the way, or lower back pain. Lower back pain, if you have somebody has it, please do not take it lightly. It is very serious situation. It can escalate to a very different anomaly, and hence you should pay good attention. Any lower back situation or hip pain or anything is purely because of the Swadhisthana chakra not getting activated, and hence it is not supplying enough nerve impulses or blood supply to the region. That's the reason muscles are not working for the so everything is all topsy turvy there. So that's where you have to focus on. So basically this entire session is geared to activating the Swadhisthana chakra and Manipura chakra. These two chakras are the ones which are getting activated here. So let's start with the initial warming up. Now, this can be done on the sitting chair also. Like I'll just show you. I mean, you can sit like this and do this, whichever, right? Okay. So what I'll do is initially warming up. So you loosen your hand like this and jerk it like that. Keep jerking it. And breathe in deeply. So you will feel the tingling sensation in your hands and in your fingers and all that. So that's very important. And then what you do after having done that, do this. Very absolutely loose hands, right? The goal is to twist from here, right? Over here. Like this, absolutely loose. Because the serious ones are going to come a little later. So don't panic. Okay. Okay. So do this couple of times and if, fist your hand like that, and what you do is with this beat this part of your hand, the left hand, do the other hand, do this, do this. Now what is it all about? This is actually draining the lymphatics. In our system we have a lot more lymphatic systems going on. There is, let's say, a 20 kilometer of blood supplies, and but we will have a 40 kilometers of lymphatics drainage system. So if the drainage system is blocked, that which means toxins are getting accumulated for no reason. So that's the most important thing to take care of. And once you have done that, then what you do, beat this. It is from periphery to the heart. That's how the lymphatics works. So not from here but from this side. That's why the periphery was activated here like this. So what you do is do that, do this, and then do couple of beating of your on your palm sidewise, edges, and then do this. This is beating the thing out, which means lymphatic system needs to get out. The all the toxins that are sitting there should be flushed out rapidly. Yeah, like this. Okay, very gently. And rub your ears like this. This is general warming. See, it just should not take more than 5 minutes, right? Just start like that. And then it is a neck. So what happens now, we are going to loosen our neck. We have loosened our limbs and stuff like that. So first is neck, because neck is a very important area, because it's the bottleneck actually they call it, right? So all our supply, blood supply, and the nervous system and everything is spinal cord and all that is going through neck only, and it is such a small area. So this area has to be dealt with absolute respect. You cannot let go of, you cannot say, okay, I have developed my good body but not taking care of the neck. Oh my goodness, that's important, that's very important. So do that. So neck exercise, then shoulders exercise, then waist exercise, and the kneecap is important, and then the ankle and the wrist. The wrist is already, we have already done that, but still we'll do another round. So neck loosening is Griva. Griva Shithilakaran. Shithilakaran means relaxing. So this is what you do. So anybody who is sitting, that's fine, or anybody who wants to sit down is fine also. On the chair it's fine too. So I'll do that way. Sit in Vajrasan position and take deep breath. Okay, 1 or 2 deep breath taken. After that, what you do is you turn right and take a deep breath while turning right. Hold, right? And when you're coming back, chant a, a, not a, like this. I'll show you. Then hold here. Then again take a deep breath and turn your the head towards the left. Hold and breathe out and say ooh. Ooh. Additionally, I have already also told you that do this position and put it here. Now, if you would like to, if most people cannot breathe out as much, the secret of all yogasana is how much you can breathe out. To be very, not necessarily as much you can breathe in, but how much can you breathe out is the secret of all yogasanas. So you can do this in the beginning itself. I didn't show you, but this is you can do. Most people cannot do that much, so whatever that they can do, that's fine. But I'm just pulling your limits to a little higher level. So this is how you can do. Okay. Now what you do is, third one is breathe in and turn your neck down like this. It's not easy. Sorry, turn your neck backward. So what I did was I just kept pressing, and the sound E came out most of the time. So it is actually exhalation that is the power in all the yogasanas, right? Then what you do is breathe in while bending, and when you breathe out, chant like that. So again like this. So do that. So I'll repeat this three times. Right, left, backward, forward. Right, left, backward, forward. This kind of thing you do 3 times, right? Again, fist like that next to your belly button. Breathe in. So this is exercises means grieve shithilikaran. Shithilikaran means loosening the neck. Now what you can do is you can do this neck rotation clockwise, anti-clockwise. Remember all these exercises, even though they are actually activating our Swadhisthana chakra and Manipura chakra, this is just to let you know, they are basically in turn activating the midbrain. Midbrain is the region which controls all these dopaminergic, norepinephrinergic, serotonergic, all the neurotransmitter system that exist in the brain is are right in the center of the. It's midbrain is the real deal here. So from where all the projections throughout the brain happen. So this entire exercise session is to eradicate almost. If somebody who does that cannot have depression, anxiety, insomnia, or for you what you call a migraine, nothing of that kind will ever happen to those people. So this is that important. Everybody, in fact, from the childhood onwards, they should do this, and they will be rid of. If suppose somebody happens to have some situation like that, you can revert it. All these challenges, Parkinson, depression, multiple sclerosis, I call you anxiety, bipolar, all these are reversible challenges. Okay, do not ever buy into saying that oh, this cannot be reversed. It can be reversed. You ask Pramesh. Okay, shoulders. So I'll just stand with the shoulders. Now this shoulders is a very important. You can do it sitting also. First, stand in tree pose. Okay, like this, and face your palm in front, and then what you do is without bending your body like that, just stay straight like that, but twist your hand all the way so that you can start to feel the pressure over here. Like if you are straight like that, go like this, you can feel the pressure there. Okay, that's then what you do is take about like few degrees on your other side and push your hand behind. You'll start to feel another set of muscle being stretched. Okay, bring it back, expand it further. There you are. Your shoulder blade, you'll know exactly what I'm talking. You will feel it. I cannot tell you how you feel it, but you will feel it. Go back again. Push it little more. Push it even further. You will know. If you have frozen shoulders, this is the beautiful exercise. Most people who are sitting on the chair all day long, this is the most wonderful exercise. Now you go back again. You will feel if there is a frozen shoulder, you know exactly which muscles are not functional in your case. So you can develop those muscles back again. This can be done anywhere. I mean, at work also, wherever. Take sneak in few minutes here and there, and just can do it. So this is not something that you can do all day long in spurts. After having warm water in the morning, you do this. In the bathroom, you can do this. While taking shower, you can do it. I mean, you can do wherever, right? This is the most wonderful exercise. And then obviously, like this, I think Sriji talks has shown us how to loosen our this thing shoulders. Same as here. Now what it does is, in the morning you will see most of us have one nostril open, another one not open. This helps open up everything. This is so wonderful. Okay, so it's so this is bhuja shithilikaran or shoulder exercise. Then waist, right? Waist is also very important. Most people have a very stiff waist. So what they do is they take Tylenol or some anti whatever. I'm not going to talk about those. But then that's only for few hours and then back again. So the real deal is, we have every knee problem starts with waist. Remember that. Every knee problem starts with waist. And ankles and all that is purely, it starts right here. So if you are not taking good care of your waist, all these muscles are not going to hold the kneecaps properly, and subsequently these ligaments and muscles cannot hold this other ankle. So we'll have all the way situation happening. How many people agree with me on that? Okay.
Agree.
Bend like this. Twist right. Take as much back as possible. Now the breathing, the how do you breathe? Breathe out. Breathe in. Start breathing in, and then breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. So do this 10 times and reverse 10 times. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. So do this 10 times, left clockwise and anti-clockwise. Okay, this will give your the waist and the muscles around it some energy, right? Some blood supply and some trophic factors and all those good stuff. So kneecap is another this thing. You have to do that. Now, if you are standing in a line, let's say, in grocery store, so what you do is, watch my, I'll show you a little closer. Can you see? Pull your kneecap a little bit like this. So standing in the grocery line. There you are. You're doing muscles. You're doing exercise for your knees. It's fantastic. This will never tire you no matter how long you stand. No matter how long you stand in any place, this will never tire you. Okay. Now there is another way. Those people who want to have little more oomph in this process, they can do it with a roller like that. You can keep it. You can do this. Hold, say for 20 seconds, then relax. Pull it up, hold for 20 seconds. Again relax, hold, relax. Now if you prefer to lie down, that's okay too, like this. Now if you want to get some of these muscles working properly, then you can do is stretch your leg like that. Instead of doing it like this, stretch your leg like that and then do it like that. This strengthens your muscles which hold the knees, kneecap and all that. So if you have been doing this, or you can, somebody who is scheduled for surgery for kneecap, I think if they do this, they can postpone their surgery for a few months and eventually they can say, I don't need it. That's that good this one is, I'm telling you. Okay, this is kneecap. This is Janu Shithilikaran. Okay, then the ankles, ankle rotation. Sriji already has mentioned this exercise in his warming up session in the morning, like this. Rotation clockwise, anti-clockwise, so you can do that. Okay, so this is your, so do 5 rounds clockwise, 5 rounds anti-clockwise and all that. And another one I would highly recommend, I don't know if somebody can sit like this. If they can sit like this, hold your fingers of your feet with your finger of your hand and then rotate it like this. That is another very, you will feel good about. Runners, many people jogging, those who are long distance runners and all that, I told them to do this and they felt very good. So it's a great exercise for the people who run. Then I would like to, of course, do this like this side and this side. Another one is very important, is this. Sit like this with your and do the rocking movement like this. This gets blood supply to your fingers of your feet. Okay, so this way you will have, so this ends the first week of yogasans for Parkinson condition, and or I would say the activating the chakras. Actually, this is the beginning of it. This is warming up. Let's start with the second one. So, welcome friends again. This is Shekhar Mayanil here again with you, coming up with the second module of the exercises for solving Parkinson condition and or midbrain challenges, including depression and anxiety, bipolar, all the midbrain problems. If you go and study neurosciences, you will know the midbrain is the region where controls, the entire control center exists, right? That's what they call Agya center. Agya means to direct. The one who direct is the one who is in charge, right? The control center. So that's what it is all about. So if you want to strengthen that area real good, then you are doing the yogasana that I am telling you right now. Okay. Now the first week's module plus the second week module. Now this is the second week module that I am showing you. You do that 3 times a day. The first week module 3 times a day, and then come back to the second week. So in the second week, you do once the first week module and once the second week module. So this is the second week module. So let's do the uh, uh, breathing exercise. Hasta Shwasa Kriya. Hasta Shwasa Kriya. So what you do is, this can be done just tree pose. Stretch your, hold your fingers like that, go all the way straight, stretch, and when you are bringing your hand in front of, back again to your, close to your face, twist your hand like that. So watch. Breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in. It's a reverse. Normally you say breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. We are purposely doing a opposite, so that you are aware of your breathing. Breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in. Again, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. So alternate it. Once go ahead, breathe out, breathe in. Then the next round, breathe in, breathe out. So both you have to do that. So that you are conscious. The whole idea is to not do unconscious breathing, you do conscious breathing. This is how you do it. And when you do that, you will feel the entire body warming up. Honestly, you will start to sweat. Even though this is a Mickey Mouse, looks like very simple, but it is not very simple exercise. It's a very intense energy producing exercise. Remember that. Okay, this is first one. Then what you do is, then there's another one, Urdhva Shwasa Kriya. Urdhva Shwasa Kriya is, Sriji always talked about this. When, if you can do it sitting or you can do it standing also. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. And always make sound through your throat, when you breathe in and breathe out, make that sound. That sound causes gharshan, means friction in this area, and that energizes the entire neck area so good. You will feel it, neck as well as the temple area and your forehead. You will start to sweat just doing simple exercise like that. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in is Bhrastika. Basically, it's nothing but Bhrastika. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Like jerk. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Again. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. So these do this all three directions. 1, 2, and 3. So this is what you will do the all the breathing exercise. Do it like, I don't know how much can you do it. So do 50 times. I can do 200 times, right? This thing. So, but anyway, you can do start with 10 up like that, 10 like this, 10 like this. It's good enough to start, right? And then what you do is Shashankasan. Shashankasan is, now this is the first yogasan that we are doing, which is basically geared to energizing your Swadhisthana chakra. Sit down in Vajrasan and pull your hand up. Breathe deeply. Deep breathing, right? And when you are turning, when you are going down, chant M, right? Breathe in. And when you are down there, continue the breathing. It will be very shallow though, but that's good, because that you will know this area is what is getting worked upon, right? This area. Again, breathe in and breathe out. And when you're breathing out, chant make that sound. Again, do this 5 times. That's good enough. 3 to 5 times normally. I mean, you can do more, but 3 is minimum one should do, and then you can go on every day, one extra, one extra, one extra. That's good enough, right? It's just like Japana Tusi great ho wo wali hai yaar. Okay? Okay. So when you're doing the last breathing, push it harder as much as you can. This is actually this thighs presses against your tummy, and that's how you can breathe extra out. Breathe out is very powerful concept. I think you must have, I have done earlier. The real power of breathing is in exhalation. That is really good stuff. So exhalation is if you can intensity, like when you play tabla, the left dagga is really important, right? The same way here, in the breathing, exhalation, if you can control exhalation and make it stronger, you have that power in you. And any martial artist, Selvan will tell you that. Selvan knows martial arts, so he knows. He will tell you exactly that breathing. How do you exercise the control over exhalation is the real power. Okay. After that, you do shavasana. Lie down like a corpse. Palms facing upward. Take deep breath. And while exhaling, chant like that. like the entire world is dissolving like that, and everything is falling, like you are just falling from the sky like that, so relaxed. That's how it is. Ah. Ah.
Man, I love this. Aha.
Yeah, that's important. That's how your release will happen. Heavy release happens in Shavasana only when you do that. Otherwise, it won't happen. So,
It's a very
okay.
good tip. Idea.
Yeah. Now, this is another one which I am going to share with you. This is a very strong exercise. Setu Bandhasan. Setu Bandhasan is, most people will not be able to. Now that's where the chairs cannot do justice to it. But I'll tell you what the chair people can do. Those people who cannot do this, I will share with you a little later. Okay, bring your both the legs to your, close to your body here like that. Okay, and you're going to lift your entire body from here on, right, like this. There you are. Now you can make it, you can stretch it real good like that, further, right? Now what is it going, what you can see which places it is actually you are doing the exercise. One is neck, which is basically like that, see, and another is your hips, hip area. These two region are getting real good exercise now. Now you want to make the degree of difficulty even harder and better. It is even better if you can do this. There is no way that you, these the Swadhisthana chakra cannot get activated now. It has to get activated. Now you want to stretch your legs like that. It's okay. You get more workout done with that process. Okay. This is okay. So this is important. Now, how do you go about doing in the chair? So most people will not be able to do it in the chair, so they can stand up like that and do this. The, the stretch is here anyway, but don't bend your knees, both the knees. You can do this way, either this way, or you can do this way. Don't bend your knees. So basically the pressure comes just right here. The exact pressure happens when you do this way or when you do Setu Bandhasana. Both are fine. Like that. Okay. So this can be done. Those people who cannot do that Setu Bandhasana should do this way. It works out. Now there is Supta Udar Karshasan. Udar Karshasan means twisting the stomach. Udar means abdomen. Sorry, not stomach, abdomen. Twisting your abdomen like this. This is very important yogasan for people who have hip challenges. You will love this when I show you how to solve this. Okay. Same thing. Bring your legs close to your body and then take your hands, do it like that and put it below your head. Now what you do is, without moving your hands, let the hands be in the same position. Do this. Right? Do this. And then do this. And do this. And then do this. And then keep doing it. Make a rhythm in your breathing. Let's say, for instance, if you are breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out, breathing. Or if you want to do the opposite, like if you breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, whichever works out. But there should be a rhythm, right? That's important. So keep doing that. Keep doing that. Do 25 to 50 times this thing. You can go 100 times also. Let me tell you that once you do this, the hip pain or the lower back pain will be gone forever. Alternatively, you can do also the same thing. This is not good. Okay. So you can do another way, the same thing, like this. Okay. So this is another very good way to loosen up your lower back. Lower back pain will never ever touch you, even if once you do this yogasana. This is fantastic. And after having done that, you do Pavan Muktasana. So Ardha Pavan Muktasana. I'll show you both. This is Ardha Pavan Muktasana. Let me keep this chair away. Okay. Fold your left leg like this and hold it with your hand like that and press it against your abdomen. Real good, real good. I mean, you're basically, Pavan Muktasana, you're basically wanting to remove all the wind in your intestine. So if there is any gas or anything accumulated there, this will totally take care of it. Okay. Press it hard. Press it hard. Continue to breathe deeply. And then with your right leg, do right counterclockwise and anti-clockwise and counterclockwise, clockwise and anti-clockwise rotation like this. This is clockwise. And this is anti-clockwise. Now with the right leg, hold it like this, press it against your abdomen, real good, and do deep breathing. Very important. Deep breathing is very important here. Okay. So how do you do breathing in this? Let's say inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, and again inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Do it 10 times and you will be good. All right. So this is good. Now, if you want to do the full this thing, and you want to have the back muscles trained real good. Now, in this country, the beds are horrible. You know that. So, in fact, everywhere, I have never seen a good bed. So early morning, most people get little sore, back sore. So I do this yogasan, really good. This is important, like this. This is Purna Pavan Muktasana, okay? Make sure there are not many people around you, because you will fart here. There is no doubt about that. Okay, so this is week 2 module finished right now. So what you do in week 2, week 1 module one time, and week 2 module which I just showed you one time, and that takes care of your this health, waist health, and Swadhisthana chakra health, right? Some portion also got neck health also, this chakra. Welcome to the week 3 module. Okay, so week 3 module consists of week 1 one time, week 2 one time, and then the week 3. Now week 3, this is, if you happen to have any time, I don't know if you have experienced this particular pain, the outer knee, this particular problem, this is the first, the pain starts here and goes all the way like this, up all the way. It is not sciatica pain, it is just this portion pain, not more than that. So it's like, it pains over here and here. And walking is extremely difficult in those people who have this kind of situation. So what I tell them do is this: stand in tree pose. This is Ardha Kati Chakrasan. Ardha Kati means hips, right? Half bending the hips like this. Take your left hand and twist it around so that, and the right hand should go below the knees somehow. Try your best to push it further and further and further. This gets this worked muscles right here. This muscles, this one. You'll know what I'm saying. When you do this, you'll know that. If suppose you have a pain here and you do this few minutes, the pain just goes away. Do this again. With the reverse hand. Stay there and do deep breathing. So what it does is basically it bends the spine sideways, right? And the spine bending, the portion which is getting bent is just right here. So this is the region which is very important in treating or solving the challenges of Parkinson. This chakra is the most important. Without activating this chakra, you will never be able to solve the midbrain challenges that are happening as a manifestation of Parkinson's, or depression, or anxiety, or bipolar, or multiple sclerosis. Oh goodness, multiple sclerosis. The entire body's muscles, the white layer on the nerves, that myelin protein is missing, or the myelin synthesis is gone. So those cells which are basically taking care of that Schwann cells, and in the brain the oligodendrocyte, these are getting denaturation. I mean, they're getting shot dead almost. So when you do this, those are the nerve cells. Those are the cells which get activated again. So they will start producing myelin in your spinal cord and other extremities. At the same time, it will increase your oligodendrocytes synthesis over there. So this is important. Okay. Now I would do Bhujangasana, my favorite, most very favorite asana. Do this. Again, the stretch is right here, right? Now you can do this. If you cannot do further than that, you can do this, you can do this. Keep stretching. You have to see how much you can stretch. Every day increase just a little bit, and be careful not to breathe in a jerky manner. Very slow and steady. If you do jerky breathing, you will snap your spinal cord. Don't worry about jerky breathing. Please don't do. Very slow and steady. And stay in this position for 20 seconds maximum, and then you go back again. So do this 10 times. Start with 5 and then go to 10. That's good enough. You don't need to do more than that. Then another exercise which I should actually, I am just adding here in one of this. Just remember, this was so good for loosening your and activating your Swadhisthana chakra, as well as making your hips loose, is this one. Bend your right leg like the way I have done, and bring your left leg on and put it on the thighs of your right leg. Okay, and then with your left hand press this guy all the way as much as you can, and then just do a rotation in the same position and go all the way like this, and touch the floor like that. You will feel extremely fantastic stretch here, which you have never ever felt in your life. It is so pleasing. Actually, it is so exhilarating. Actually, you feel so good after that. And then what you do is do the same thing with your right leg, like this. Very slowly. This side of the body is getting worked up. Over here, you get such a fantastic stretch. You have no idea. Never in your life, I have never seen any yogasan which gives a better stretch of the hips and the lower back than this one. This is the best one. So do this 1 or 2 times, and that's good enough for you. So Ardha Shalabhasan. Ardha Shalabhasan is, Shalab is locust, right? So Ardha Shalabhasan is like this. Lie down on your abdomen like this, and then keep your hands right like that, and lift one of your legs. That's it. Lift your neck up. So obey your body's commands. If you feel that there is excessive going on, stop there. Don't need to worry about, like, oh, I am going to do 20. Yeah, if you can, that's great. But if you cannot, don't worry about it. Start with 2. That's good enough. That's then gradually increase. Yogasana is all about gradually increasing and making every possible moves to get to that higher degree of difficulty. That's all, and everything is perfectly fine. The person who does the highest degree of difficulty and the one who does the lowest have the same benefits. Don't worry about that. Okay, so that ends the week 3 module. So what do you do in week 3? First week's the entire set of exercises, the second week the entire set of exercises, and the third week's entire set of exercises. So this is what you do. So that ends the third week. Okay, namaskar. Okay, guys, this is week's 4 module, and here what you do is you do the first week module, the second week module, third week module, and then basically you do actually you end your third week module with uh, with with the shavasana basically, or you, because you, on the fourth week I have written shavasana to start off, but then actually that is coming up with the third week module actually. Okay, so shavasana is there, and then you do Kapalbhati is uh, exhalation, 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 exhalation. We have done the inhalation in the first week itself, remember? Brastika, we have done that. So here we are going to do Kapalbhati. So Kapalbhati is basically exhaling. First you take deep breath, exhale it out completely as much as you can, and then what you do is just do the jerky movement, so that you are trying to basically exhale even further. That I'll show you. Exhale, so when I'm doing this, just to show you that I'm exhaling, 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 right? After some time you will stop, you will feel that you need some air. Okay, breathe in, exhale, complete exhale, then start. Here you're not inhaling actually, you're just exhaling, 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 that type of thing. So you can do 20 exhalations like this. Like once you breathe in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. That you did. Take deep breath again, and this 20, that way you can do 60, like 20 into 2 into 3. So you do that, that takes care of all that. Okay. Then my most favorite yogasan is Vibhagiya, sorry, not yogasan, pranayam. Vibhagiya pranayam, and then anulom vilom, which means nadi shodhanam. So Vibhagiya pranayam is like this: from here, here, and here. So this is abdominal uh, vibhag. Vibhag means different level. So what you do when you hold your hips like this and deep breathing. So your awareness is basically all the way in deeper into the lungs actually. So you're basically filling up all the lungs, lower lobes of your lung like this. Breathe in. I mean, you are visualizing that the air is going all the way to the lowest of the lobes is getting filled up. Most of the time, the lower lobes are never filled up. Actually, they are the ones who are struggling to get some air in there, but we are not able to do it. When you do this, your attention is directly like that. Wherever your attention is, the breath goes there. That's the power. That is so powerful. Wherever your attention is, the breath goes there. Breath means prana, not the air. The prana goes there. So wherever you're trying to get as much air as well as the prana inside that. Okay, the lowest of the lobes. Do this 10 times, and then what you do is hold your like this, right? This is thoracic, and you do the thoracic, which means you're trying to fill up these lobes which are full at the thorax level. You need this like that. Remember, the attention is right here. Trying to fill it up as much as you can. Then the clavicular, there are upper lobes also which up, like extending towards the back and little bit up here like this. So those never get filled up ever. I can tell you the thoracic and the abdominal area can get filled up, but these top ones never get filled up. That's why the doctors, when they do the stethoscope, they want to see is it air coming here or not there. I mean, they will touch the back with stethoscope and check. So this particular area never gets, this part of the lobe never gets any air. So even the lungs we are not using to the full capacity. So you do this, hold it like that, close to your ears, and do deep breathing. Whenever you're doing this pranayam process, normal breathing you don't need to make that hissing sound, but in pranayam I have seen hissing sound makes a like quantum leap in the effectiveness of your breathing. uh, very powerful. Gharshan, whenever there is sh added, it causes friction, and that area gets activated wherever you are. This is so good, almost like Ujjayi pranayam. Ujjayi in entire breathing process, it works with like energy. Okay, then Anulom Vilom, most beautiful. You if you have, how do you solve this challenge? Some very many people started saying, asking me, how do you when I get up in the morning, I have my right nose blocked or left nose blocked and stuff like that. So there is a very simple solution. Of course, by the time you do all the exercises, all your open, everything will be opened up now. So for me, it's about 95 to 98, 99%. I have both the nostril open all day. I keep checking it, and it's okay. So that's good. So what you do is, if you happen to get the thing faster, do this and do this. Take two tennis balls and keep it here like this, and do your regular breathing. And after few minutes, you will see the both the nostrils are open. So that is very good. So this is the best way to start your opening up the nostrils. So now what you do is you do Anulom Vilom, which means alternate nostril breathing. So with these two fingers, the index, the middle finger as well as the ring finger, close your left nostril, and with your right one, you close your right nostril. With your thumb, close your right nostril, right? So initially close your right nostril and deep breathe with the left. Hold and close your left nostril. Hold. Everything is hold right now. And then you breathe out with the right. Breathe in with right. Hold. Breathe out with the left. Breathe in with left. The same. So keep repeating it, like, I don't know, 50 times, I would say. 50 times is a good start for getting this power going on in it. And all the time, whenever you're doing this, make sure you are making that hissing sound. So as much as possible. Not necessarily, it may not happen that good here in this, but make some sound, because anything with making sound is a friction going on there. So the gharshan happening, and that makes a good workout for the breathing part. Okay. Then this is most. Uh, if you do this exercise alone, forget about rest, the entire rest. If you could do this, you got the benefit of everything. After doing the Anulom Vilom and all that, you take your left leg, keep your knee just below the genitals, and then you have to touch your head to the left knee. Okay, like that. Okay, do this both sides. So what you're basically doing is you're another bending it in a very not sideways, not front, but it is twisting little bit oblique your spine, the entire spine, like this. You see, it is not like that. It is not in the front. It is little oblique. So it is little tougher. So and deep breathe 5 times in and out, right in that position. It takes care of it. Then what you do is sit like that. Now this is a part of a Mahamudra. I am giving you this. Mahamudra is one of the ultimate yogasan posture, which takes care of all the 7 chakras in one stroke. All the chakra 5, 6, 7 chakras activated right there on the spot. This is what you do. So inhale, and while exhaling, you go down and keep at that position and keep inhaling, exhaling. That takes care of all the 5, 6 chakras in one go. This is that good. Now somebody who has thyroid challenges, they give you your TSH is very high. That's all nonsense. Do this. All TSH, everything will be fine after this. Thyroid, all the pituitary organs, it basically pituitary gland and the entire thyroid, hypothyroid, the pancreas, the glucagon, the adrenal, everything in perfect order with this yogasan. One single yogasan. This is that powerful. But to get to that point of where the flexibility is, you do all this and that to get to this point. Okay, so this is very important. So after that, after having done Mahamudra, your mind automatically gets very calm and very focused. Somehow, I don't know what, you try it yourself. You'll know what I'm saying. Suddenly, you will get a very different worldview, complete different worldview. Suddenly, it happens to you. I say, how the hell that happened? I don't know, but it happens. So after that, what you do is sit down like quietly. Either you can sit like this or you can sit like this, whichever position is fantastic. This is Gyan Mudra or Chin Mudra, they call it. You can do sit like this, like that, and fill up your lungs again. Then you can do Brahmari after this. You know how to do Brahmari? Middle finger, closing your eyes. It is actually Jyoti Mudra, actually. Little bit, just light tension, light pressure on your eyeball and pressing it against your nose bone here. And then the index finger on your forehead. And this particular finger, ring finger, right here next to the nose, close to the where it is. And there. And then with your thumb, close your earbuds and then do the with high frequency. Okay, very high, not like gentle om, not this, that type. Okay. then just sit quietly and enjoy the sound that was created. You'll start to see the vibrations right there in the head. You, even though you have stopped making that high frequency sound, still the sound is still there. And you'll see it reverberating, reverberating, reverberating everywhere. It's just like the whole body is reverberating with that sound. And you can end with Om, 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 Ow, Ow, Aum, Aum. That's how it should sound. Aum, 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 Aum. If you keep doing it like 96, I don't know how many times, 100 times maybe, you will start to see you whether you will get to this realization that am I saying it or it is already happening here. It that type of a vibration that will happen, and after that you can just sit quietly. And this ends the module number 4. So what do you do in module number 4? In the fourth week, do the first week, second week, third week, fourth week, and that's it. So there is another very important suggestion. I am, please stay away from TV as much as you can. I mean, no, nothing is good is happening out there somewhere. So a lot of negative news is there. If you want to enjoy movies, that's good. If you want to listen to some music, on there are some great programs in on Indian cinema. In Indian television, there are some good Indian Idol, fantastic shows are going on. That's fine, but don't use this COVID news and all that nonsense. It's garbage. Or election news, that's even worse. Don't think about that, and don't gossip. No gossip. Negative gossip is prohibited if you want benefits out of this, because one negative thought can destroy your entire system and poison your whole body, and then you will start to feel drained out and at least energy. So thank you so much. I'll end with one last chant. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschit dukkha bhag bhavet. Let everybody be happy and healthy, and everything great should happen to everyone. And with that, I say Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you very much.